When you
Yeah.
have addiction and your shelves are overflowing.
Hold tight.
When you don't know what new is coming, but you fear you might miss out. Just sit right back, just relax and watch and listen. The Toy Duo team brings you what you need. The toy news you didn't know you needed. Action figures, TV news, all the pop culture you can handle
I love it when a plan comes together. What?
on your shelf.
Hey, everybody, it's the Toy Duo team. We're going to be talking about action figures, toy news, and a whole lot more. And covering all the reveals. I don't know. I guess I got to write something down one day to
All
figure
toy
out.
news that you did. Well, I mean, the intro says it all, right? I mean,
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I mean-
Yeah, shelves are overflowing.
yeah.
I'm trying not to show any of my floor anymore. Just because.
That's don't worry, you're not alone. I'm a bit overwhelmed right now.
I imagine. Just a little bit of news. If you guys know Shabby Geek, he's got that YouTube channel over there. He was doing a show with his brother. His brother unfortunately passed away. There's a GoFundMe if you want to help him get over there for the funeral and stuff like that. I put the link in the chat as pinned to the top, so there it is. So you guys know about that. But yeah,
Yep.
he's really good artist, man. Have you
Yep.
seen his work?
Yeah.
It's like it was fantastic.
Yeah. Sad news about Psy.
Yeah, that kind of sucks.
Yeah, man. Too soon.
All right. I'm sorry?
Too soon.
Yeah. Oh yeah, always too soon. All right. Anyways, this week, the Toy Duo team, we're going to do the weekly rewind. I'm speculating that there's going to be a HasLab price drop. Eric doesn't think so. Dan's
No.
doesn't care.
Well, I don't care either. I just don't think it's happening.
We're still talking about Tron.
Yeah.
Tron,
Well,
yeah.
I thought they gave up on that. They're still hanging. They're still clinging on.
Yeah, they got 2 days left. I mean, they're not going to stop it early because, you never know what could happen. Anyways, before we get too far into it, let's just say hi to Dave's Dimension, who's in the chat. You got Paisano777 in there. You got Gary's Grails. He changed his logo a couple weeks ago, and I need to go look at it regular size so I can see. It looks like almost like it. Is he James Bond in the corner? Anyways, Mr. Beast Custom is in there. Let's see. You know what? I should try to. Sunny Sundries is here. Oh, he got up really early, didn't he? Thank you for joining us. I haven't seen you in a while. And then, did I miss anybody that's showed up? Okay. Anyway, we'll get some more people showing up in the chat shortly. Anyways, let's cover what?
Paisano.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Let's
there.
get. Don't call to come back. All right, Eric has finally ironed out all his issues he had with me and decided he would come back on the show this week just to see if I was nice to him.
Oh, is that how you've been? Is that how you've been framing this to everyone? Yeah. No, I've just been helping out with the kids and whatnot. My wife was studying for a certification. She took her exam last week, so
nice. Well, good luck. Hopefully that turns out really good.
Yes.
Yep. Hopefully.
Yeah. All right. Crowdfunds, we got that clause that we were following. That's from the Icon Heroes. It's about 3,500. It's only 25 backers on there. Still got 28 days to go, so it could still pull out. But I feel like, from what I hear, they might be thinking about some reworks and stuff like that. So we'll see if that ever comes to pass.
Are those flocked? Those could be flocked.
Yeah, they're not. They're not flocked. These are the Wave 2 from the Zujitsu Fighters, the little cat. Right. So you got 2 dogs, a wolf, and a fox.
Yeah, looks like a fox.
Yeah.
Oh, so the screenshot's still the same.
I'm sorry?
It hasn't budged.
It went up like $40.
Did it? Okay.
Like, so basically like one figure or something like that. One more backer from last week. Oh, it doesn't really look like it, huh?
I got to, yeah.
Yeah, the number of backers into maybe somebody added on.
Maybe I was gonna say maybe they went in and added another figure or something.
Yeah, one more thing. The Odious, the cowboy, and the soldier figure was 61,000 last week. It's 76,000. It's got, I think, less than 15 days. Let me get rid of this. It's got 14 days to go, and it's still got about 100,000. So under halfway there. And then you can't look at that thing at the top that says 28 days left with 2,600 because that's an old screenshot.
Oh.
And then the biggest company doing a crowd. This is kind of like an interesting conversation, I think, right? Like, I think everybody's already had this conversation. Why does a big company have to do a crowd fund? You know, when they we talked about Hasbro when they created their HasLab, there was a thing about this crowd fund. Now, they were on a podcast a week ago and they talked about, you know, value and stuff like that, why they chose to do a crowd fund, the whole thing. Did we talk about that podcast last week, or did that podcast just come out this week? Because I feel like I talked about it, but maybe it's because I made that video. Did anybody listen to the podcast or hear anything that was happening? If you've seen any of my posts, I was posting like the transcripts.
Yeah, no, I saw you doing that. I didn't watch that the interview. I'm not super into Tron, so I don't know. I'm staying in the game.
Did anyone burn?
Here is the Tron HasLab. You can see it's got just 1,200, and I think it's over 1,267 now. I took that picture, screenshot of the backer number early this morning. Still got over 8,500 to go. It's got 2 days, right? Like, so one of the things that happened was they were asking for questions before doing that podcast, and I actually reached out to Steve Evans and I said, would it be possible for you guys to make a video and show the display without studio lights, right? So he responded. He said, that's a great idea. Well, as soon as I get it back from the UK, I'll probably, or, you know, where it's on tour, I'll make some type of a video or whatever is what he kind of said. So he compared the old light cycle versus their light cycle. So you can see how they stack up next to each other. And he did the lighted display on his shelf. And that's a screenshot of it with the figures behind it. So it does look like it lights it up pretty good. But what you can't tell in the picture is if there are additional lights on the underside of the shelf. You know what I mean? So I wasn't really sure, but it did look like it produced a lot of light to display. So, I mean, I can't complain about that. The thing I thought was funny was in the video, he said a lot of people were asking for that. And it might be true. There might be a lot of people that messaged him or whatever, but I did not see one comment on anywhere asking for that. I felt like asking for that one specific thing was me. But anyways, I feel like that podcast was like just an advertising campaign. And I realized what I'm not doing right here, you know, in a way. And you guys in the chat, you can tell me whatever you think. But when I watched that podcast, those guys basically, I believe that they are collectors and fans. They're very good natured. I'm not taking any of that away, but they were very agreeable and they were very like, anything you tell us is golden. Like there was, you know, no question about anything that they said.
Yeah, I mean, like, to be fair, even if let's say even if Steve Evans and Chris Rife, right, that's his name, even if they were open to having some like no holds barred conversation,
yeah,
do you think Hasbro as a company would let them do that? Probably not.
I don't think so, because it wasn't a live stream. It was pre-recorded because there was no chat or anything, right? So there was nobody. And from my understanding, from watching that Ryan Ting go on his interview after he left Hasbro, he basically said that Hasbro doesn't allow them to do even their streams live anymore because somebody gave up information, spoiled something. You know what I mean? So it was interesting because I feel like they did try to like address what they how they got to the price point. John's here, and I'll just
a late one.
Hey John.
Hey John.
So I'll just tell you kind of breakdown like how they address like the value of it. They said that the 3 3/4 inch figures were so detailed with deco and tooling that they felt like they were equivalent to a deluxe TVC figure.
Yeah.
And Steve Evans basically even said something like he felt that let's see, did they do this? That he said that he thinks that the 3 3/4 inch, the value is not what you pay, it's what you get, is what he said. He says it's just as good of engineering and it's even better than a 6 inch
because it's smaller.
Yeah, because it's smaller. And in a way, probably better engineering because they pulled back some of the engineering on the Black Series. If you compare it to the Black Series, right? And the thing is, these figures have double jointed knees and that lower neck joint, but so do all my Marvel Legends now, except for Spider-Man for the most part, right? He doesn't have the lower neck joint, which is the one figure that really needs it.
The most flexible.
Yeah.
So in my mind, they're like saying the figures are $25 to $27.99 because if you look, that price point for TVC Deluxe is gonna be $27.99 here pretty soon. And that is the current price of a Black Series figure. So they're basically equaling a 3 3/4 inch figure to their 6 inch figure. They're saying they are the same and have the same price point. I mean, do you guys feel like they have the same value?
I don't know.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I think the value, we talked about this when we first looked at it. I don't think the 260 is the issue. I think it's excuse me, I'm sorry. It's kind of like what Gary's saying, if they had it separated, I don't think everybody wants this whole thing. They don't want that setup.
I don't think anybody wants the base.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, how many people have said, well, you can't see the figures because of the way it's set up?
It is true, Dan. If you were to put that on an eye level shelf and put those bikes in front, you could not see those figures.
You're gonna have Mr. Wilson from Home Improvement.
Yeah, and the one common thing about collectors is we're always looking for a riser or something to put at the back of the shelf to get figures in the back of the shelf up so you can see them with figures in front of them, right? So that should have had at least a riser.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, as far as like the price, I think considering the Snowcat cleared, and if the fans out there, I think they'd probably pay that 260. But I think it's just this particular thing that they.
Well, that's the other interesting thing too is if you listen to the interview, Evan said that he did a lot of research. So he said in doing the research, he would go on Instagram and Facebook, and he found groups with like 2,000 to 4,000 people in them. But on Reddit, there's a Reddit group that has like over 40,000 people in it. So they went there, they found one guy, it sounded like, and he gave them all this advice about Tron, right? And what they should do and what they shouldn't do. And I'm like, so you based your entire campaign off of talking to one guy in a 42,000 numbered message group on Reddit.
But all kinds of people were asking that question, Vern.
Yeah. And then so my next question is then, and Eric will probably jump in on this, and I think John too, did they go advertise on Reddit, right? Because you're always saying like, well, they don't advertise these things. How is a casual fan of a property supposed to know one of these things exists if the only thing they do is talk about it at a convention, talk about it on social media?
They're not meeting people where they're at.
Right.
Yeah.
But the market for Tron is much, much smaller than any of the other properties that I think they've got right now.
Yeah. But I will tell you that he did defend making it a HasLab because he said that, like, he basically said HasLabs don't have to be a big thing, right? Which I agree with. He said he was around since the beginning and they were always about something that wouldn't sit properly at retail, like something they didn't have kind of information about at retail. And so kind of like without knowing what it would do at retail, that's why it went to HasLab. But I argue that you could look at Diamond Select, you could look at Super 7 to get an idea of what they might do at retail, because that's like a closed retail, right? Because it's just the Disney parks for the most part, and like Walgreens where they had the exclusives. And then if you can extrapolate from there, right, you might get a better idea. But
which, by the way, they're all gone at Disney World.
Oh, are they?
We found that very fascinating because like only a couple months ago when I was there, you walk out of the Tron ride and go to the gift shop, and they had an entire wall of the Super 7 Tron figures for $25 each figure, and they're 5 POA. And then they had the bikes, and I don't remember what the price for the bikes were, but they're essentially what you see right in front of you. You know what I mean? Those were the same bikes that
the bike with a rider is like, I think like $80 at the park.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
And then so that was only a couple months ago that they were there, and we walk in this time with Martin and Steph and Georgie and them, and there was none of them. There was not a single Tron figure in the store, and that whole section that they had was gone. So we're filled up with other stuff, you know what I mean? And mostly with Tron Ares stuff. So I said one of two things happened. Either they got the Tron Ares stuff in, because that would have been, the movie happened in between when I was there last and now. So either they said this has to be all current Tron stuff, get rid of these, or the other thing that happened between last time and now is the HasLab. And maybe they went, listen, you can't have $25 5 POA figures when we've got the HasLab going on. You know what I mean? Like
it could be. I mean, like if you remember though, that light cycle and the 1/5 POA figure is double what they sold those ones on Disney Shop Disney for. When they had that small run that was available in Shop Disney, that light cycle and rider was half the price of what the park price was. Because I was because when my brother got them for me, I was like so sticker shocked, right?
Yeah.
And then when they went up on Shop Disney, I was like, they're half. But I was unable to get them because they like sold out.
Is that where they sold them? Was on Shop Disney? Because I asked the girl in the store, I said, did you clearance those out? And she goes, no, we don't really do that. She goes, one day I came in and they were just gone. So the overnight crew that did the display took them all down and put all the new stuff up, and those figures just got sent out. So she goes, I don't know what happens to them.
Did you go look at the outlet store?
Did you check Ross?
No, because there isn't a Disney outlet store in the Disney park.
Yeah, it's outside of the park.
It's outside.
I feel like they went there, John.
Did they go there? Is that what they did?
Like
probably
what happened, yeah. I think it's an interesting thing though, because like this thing's got like 2 days left, and then I'll just put this up. So now all of a sudden, hey, we want your input, right? Like, what do you think this stuff is worth?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, maybe you should do this kind of thing before you launch.
Yeah.
So there were what?
I don't know if you went through and tried to tally it up for, and I don't know what you already covered in the 5 or 10 minutes where I was late. But
everything.
When I was scrolling through the answers, I felt like a lot of the answers were hitting around that $200 mark.
Yes, you are right.
Combined for
You are
the
right.
same product offering, right?
Right.
Yeah, the whole set, that as it was instead of the 260 or whatever they want. And a lot of people were saying, I'd like it to be 200 or a little, maybe just a tiny bit more if you need to, after taxes and shipping and all that. Because a lot of people were saying it's not just the 260. It's I got to pay 320 in my area because of taxes and shipping.
Yeah, it's
So
$30 in shipping and
Yeah.
another pretty much $30 in tax, and then
Forgot about that.
Jonathan, right? Like is saying, and I've seen this on Pulse Europe or UK or whatever. It's more.
Yeah.
It's the conversion isn't the same, so
Yeah.
they're charging more internationally, right? Now, there were a lot of people that were like, "This is a very limited run. There's only 10, 10,000 is a super small run and stuff like that." But I argue that it's not 10,000 because if this backs, they're going to produce 20,000 light cycles. So that's a 20,000 run.
Yeah.
If they produce these, if you look at the figures really closely, almost all of them, except for Yuri, share the same from the waist down, except for, and Yuri's the only one with different boots. You know what I mean? And I think Sark's body might be a little bit different, but all the rest of them are universal. And I don't know if like the pads that go on the arms are just extra molded parts that then get attached to the figure itself, or if they're, because I don't think they're molded on. I think they're like glued on after somehow, or pressed on or processed. I don't know how those pieces work. But it seems to me then you're looking at, for a lot of the parts on this, you're getting a 40,000 part run on like legs and boots and stuff like that. The knees, especially where they have the double joint, are all going to get a 40,000 run, not a 10,000 run. So I don't necessarily agree with the small run argument, because one, like if say a company says we only have to do, this is our minimum production run, right? And it's sold at retail. They're upfronting the cost for everything, and they're building their profit off of basically the rest of it. But in this case, they're paying for nothing. So I would almost argue they could take a little bit less profit because they're not having to put any money out.
And really, I actually have no clue what numbers they make in toys, but I know from comic stores, like there's certain issues of comic books that the print run is less than 10,000, and they charge $3.99 for that comic, the same as if they had printed 100,000 and they charged $3.99 for that comic.
Well, I try to look at it like this, John. There's about 2,000 Walmarts in the U.S., 2,000 Targets in the U.S., 2,000 GameStops in the U.S. So almost every single one of those stores is going to get at least one of every figure. So you're already looking at 6,000, plus however many Amazon get, plus how many go to Canada and Europe and stuff like that. So I'm guessing that like a regular Marvel Legends is getting a run of 100,000 figures.
You think? Yeah, you think so?
Yeah. That's my guess. I'm just throwing it out there. Right?
Does Dan say they only print 6 or 7 toys? That's it.
6 to 7, yeah.
My guess is right now with this research, this is just going to be used for
future.
one of two things. Maybe hacking this HasLab offering into separate a la carte offerings, right? Individual figures, individual light cycles. Maybe the base goes bye-bye. I don't know. There's that. But remember that this is tied to that larger initiative for what did they call it? Just Hasbro 375 or whatever.
Yeah.
So they have bigger plans for pushing 3 3/4.
Did you guys see? They do have a big plan for 3 3/4 inch. if you go look today, this is what was said by the senior manager, and he says, "It's my mission is simple, though challenging, and there will be stumbles on the way. I'll always do what I can to get back up, and with your help, grow the scale." And he's talking about 3 3/4. He doesn't care about 6-inch. He only wants to grow the 3 3/4 inch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, I have 3 3/4 stuff for Star Wars, mainly for the vehicles and whatnot. But
Well, it also, like we talked about. I mean, we could have been talking about this like a year or so ago, maybe even longer, when I said, back in the 80s, when they had that period of time where they were claiming the oil crisis was going on and plastic was getting more expensive, rather than raising the price of the 3 3/4 inch action figure, they said, well, when parents go into the stores, they don't want to spend more than $2 or $3. And if we keep making these figures 3 3/4 for like Mask, say like when Mask was coming out, when Air Raiders was coming out, when Sky Commanders, all those, they said we have two choices. We can either keep it at $375, and then a Mask toy would have been $100. That Condor you wanted to buy would have been $100, or we can keep the price tag of the figure at $299 and the vehicle of the Condor at $20 and make the figure 2 inches tall.
So you're talking about the second. Yeah, I was thinking of like the first reduction when they went from the 12-inch to the 3 3/4 inch based on the same oil crisis.
That very well could have been it, because in the 70s they had that same oil crisis. Yeah.
And so that's kind of
very well could have happened then as well. I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of what they say was the birth of the 3 3/4 inch figure, right? Like was this crisis where it was going to be too expensive to manufacture these 12-inch figures.
But I remember them saying that's why the Mask toys weren't the same size as G.I. Joe. They said because the cost would be too high because of the oil prices going up. So they made them 2.5 inches instead, so that parents would go in and still see a $299 or figure. And I'm like, that is what we've been saying about. We talked about this, I know, before, and I was like, why don't they do that now? Because the 6-inch figure is becoming way too expensive to make and for people to buy. So what makes more sense is just make them all 3.75, but they keep the price the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But the weird thing is, yes, there's more plastic in the 6-inch figures, but from what I've understood, it costs just as much to tool up for a 3 3/4 figure as for a 6-inch. So
yeah,
I agree and disagree with that a little bit, on the premise that from what I understand in manufacturing, the plates are a certain size, right? The steel mold. So like with a 3 3/4 inch figure, you might only need one entire plate, where a 6-inch figure might bleed into 2 plates. Right. So then you double that initial startup cost. But to watch G.I. Joe Classified, which doesn't have they're not paying a license or anything, to raise their prices along with the other brands, knowing that almost every figure you're getting is using parts off of molds they've already made for legs, for upper bodies. You know what I mean? You can see the other figures in every figure. So all of those initial production costs are gone now, except for a head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even the accessories are just being repopulated into other packages.
Right.
So
That's right.
Yes. So I agree and disagree. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Dan. Go ahead.
He's throwing a wrench in the. He's talking about the Motu figures. He's right. They were 4 or 5, weren't they?
Yeah, they were 5-inch. Yeah.
But they had less articulation, so it might have been an easy. Well, no, because you're still using more plastic, right?
Yeah, they claimed it was because of the plastic, but you're right. I mean, yeah.
I think that those 2-inch figures just didn't go over very well, and I think very quickly toy manufacturers realized,
because by
1990,
that they shrunk them in 86, 87, And by 1990, they were back up to 4-inch because that's when they started doing like the Batman animated series.
Yeah.
Turtles had come out by 89. So really by 89, 90, they were back up to 4 or 5 inches again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think it's really good to go listen to this other podcast to hear what these guys said, though. I mean, like if you haven't done it, it's very interesting, right? They did make an impassioned plea. I really wish that the guys who were hosting, I mean, obviously they seem like they love Tron. They said they all backed in the first couple minutes. I think that's great. But when I read this post from Evans and he says, what would you personally expect each component price to be? So what would you expect them to be, right?
Yeah.
I'm not expecting to take $260 and then assign prices, right? Like I feel like he's saying, hey, tell me what you think they should be. So I did watch, and originally they chimed in and basically said $20 a figure, $40 a light cycle, and $80 for the base, which I don't know how you get $80 for that base.
Yeah, I know, right?
But then, being a smart aleck that I am, I said, well, on your show, they said that they were deluxe figures. So you actually disagree with that? Like, because they kind of didn't disagree on the show, right?
Just had to poke.
And then he comes back and says, well, okay, so it'd be a difference of $5. Just take that off the base and add it to the figure. If that, like, kind of, if that makes you feel better, you know what I mean? And I'm like, well, then I missed the assignment, because if you can just take $25 off the base, it's not $80.
Yeah.
So why did you say 80? You know what I mean?
Well, I think it's their gut reaction, right? In terms of, like, if looking at the products, what would you expect them to be?
Well, I did follow up, and I said, I kind of said, I guess I missed that. That was over my head. I didn't know we were supposed to take the 260 and then just assign values to things. And then he said, well, that's what I felt like we were supposed to do.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So
the way I interpreted that post was Steve Evans just wanted to know if each component was offered individually.
What would you pay for it? Yeah.
What would you think it would be on a peg? Right.
And that's exactly what I think. I did not like a couple of things he said. I did not like the thing where he said, if you feel like this is expensive, then you've never bought anything like this before. Because I feel like you just basically told the people who are buying your stuff that you have no concept on what something should cost.
Kind of insulting to your value too. Like
right.
Like whatever you got before isn't as classy as my stuff.
Yeah. And I thought it was really interesting that he basically admits that 6 inches is the standard scale right now. Right.
Yeah.
But
I think that was one of my comments. I said maybe this should have been 6 inch, even though I prefer 3 3/4, I do believe this should have been 6 inch. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
I will tell you why I think that it's going to be hard for people to. I get with what Eric said, where he's like, I do the 3 3/4 inch mostly for the ships and stuff like that. I understand why John likes that 3 3/4 inch, because that really takes him back to his collecting childhood. But I think, Dan, you're mostly a 6 inch collector. I'm a 6 inch collector. I know why I collect 6 inch action figures, and it really has to do with the tactile feel of it. Like, it really feels like I'm 10 holding a 3 3/4 inch figure. Because if you think about how big I have grown since I was 10 versus now, the way I hold that figure, it fits perfectly in my hand today, the same way that 3 3/4 inch fit in my hand when I was 10.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
How come you have your Wolverine and mine hasn't showed up? Dang you.
That's because you bought yours from Amazon and Eric got his straight from Pulse.
Oh yeah, that's probably true.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
I never thought about it that way.
Hey, Dave's like, I made that base with my 3D printer.
Yeah.
Well, for those of you who don't have 3D printers, I did post a picture of this lighted board This is for tracing. It's basically like a $30 15 by 10-inch board, and you could probably put your own grid lines on there.
Yeah, with duct tape even.
Yeah. So LEDs are not that expensive. Some of the other things that I thought were interesting was about the value. How do you guys feel about the idea of vintage collection figures being the same price as a Black Series figure?
Well, I've already stopped collecting TVC and other stuff too because of the price hike.
Because oh, go ahead.
I can't imagine TVC staying alive much longer at that price point, frankly.
Yeah.
Because $20 was my upper limit, and well, actually, it really wasn't. I mean, $16.99 was my upper limit. So now that they've gone to $20 and higher, like I saw a bunch in Walmart the other day that I was like, these look great. I'd love to have them, but not at $19.99. I just put them all right back on the shelf and walked out.
Yeah, I mean, if you can look at a 6-inch figure that's super detailed and go and look at a 3 3/4 inch figure that has same details. I mean, I'm never buying that 3 3/4 inch figure if they're the same price.
No way. Yeah.
Right. I bought those Superman 5 POA figures from Spin Master because they were $7.
Because they were $7.99. Yeah. Yeah.
And they still look cool on the card. So, and I don't keep many things on cards, but I will keep those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just
what?
Even the the nostalgic feel aside, I think you and I, and maybe this goes way back. I think even somebody was talking about it. Maybe me and Dean, but like it's hard for me to articulate because I like being able to pose.
Oh,
and,
okay.
and take a look at
Oh,
it,
yeah. TVC posing.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm gonna break it, or it's just like it's not fun. It's not fun because it's so tedious. It's like
Exactly.
like a tiny little model that you're gonna break. And
my buddy, Dan, my buddy set up his Razor Crest and said he had to go to the to Michael's and buy this pair of like tweezers so he can put the arms cabinet together because he couldn't get his hand in there to do it.
Yeah.
But you know, like with the HISS tank, you can stack all your weapons in there easily because of that. So yes, there's no way I would stop motion animate a 3 3/4 inch figure. It would be nearly impossible.
Oh,
setting up my cantina with all those damn cups and the and trying to get the Tonica sisters with the hookahs, the pipes in their hands.
Nice.
That was a process. Let's just say that.
I'll bet. Yeah, that's a perfect example. Yeah.
And can I ask one other question about?
No.
Correct me if I'm mistaken in what I read, but I thought that they were saying that they now have in hand. Someone on one of the social media things there, like Stevie or someone said, I now have in hand examples of the final product for the Tron stuff, which means that they actually already went through and made the metal molds, sent those molds to China, and China has sent back test shots, which they approved, and then they sent now final retail product.
I wonder if those are produced differently though.
Are those the 6-inch or the 3-inch that you're talking about?
The HasLab. I thought he said it was the HasLab that he had in hand.
So what happened was they unveiled that at New York Comic Con, and he was not feeling well, so he didn't make it to New York Comic Con. Then the set immediately went to London, which he also didn't go to. So he was basically saying that was the first time that he was ever able to get his hands on those prototypes. He had never touched them or looked at them in person.
It was the examples that they had for the conventions, not the final product that you get.
Right.
So they might not have made a metal mold yet. Because I was like, doesn't that mean they've already done all the upfront costs, hoping this would pass? What happens if it fails and they've spent 50 grand on this thing already? And they're like,
listen, part of the conversation was about like why they chose the 3 3/4 inch scale for the Tron HasLab, and then they're doing the 6-inch scale for the legacy figures, right? So I thought it was pretty interesting because it was all part of that conversation where he basically says the standard is 6-inch, right? But they felt like 3 3/4 inch figures were appropriate for this Tron HasLab because this because this Tron came from a time when figures were 3 3/4 inch figures. So they figured that people like our age who were getting this would be more appreciative of figures in that scale, and that the legacy figures are basically built for a much younger audience, for Eric's audience, from Eric on, because he wasn't around during the original Tron, right? And that because that 6-inch scales for him, and that those movies are like his generation in a way. Does that make sense? I'm not trying to say we're different generations, Eric. I'm just
he's picking.
No, I get it. I mean, like my first introduction for Star Wars toys was 3 3/4. It was Power of the Force 2, but I mean, those were garbage, and I don't really care. I don't have an affinity for them. I mean, like, I look at some of them and I'm like, oh yeah, that reminds me of my childhood, but they were crap, right?
Right. Yeah. And I don't mean to like tell Dan that you're too old to be part of that younger generation either.
Oh, I am.
So don't take that the wrong way. But that was kind of their argument, right? Like, we know that 6 inches the scale, but this Tron HasLab being in 3 3/4 inch scale makes more sense because it's
for the audience. Yeah. I don't begrudge them for picking 3 3/4 for this. It does. The only thing that kind of, it doesn't rub me the wrong way. It just frustrates me that there isn't as much of the passion for the 6-inch stuff, right? Like like the Rancor nearly backed, and probably would have backed if Hasbro didn't drop the ball. Like, they could have done very easy things, and that would have funded.
That
right?
whole camp. See that, and that's the flip side of the problem. Like,
and
the takeaway I don't want to come from this failed HasLab is that the fans didn't want anything to do with Tron, right? Like, they're basically
right.
I feel like in Hasbro's mind, Star Wars 6-inch Star Wars fans just don't want a big project.
And that's completely not true,
right? I mean,
it's just you have to find the right offering, and
to
me it just seems like, with the extra effort going on right now to get some extra research for what the expectations really are for products like this, it just seems like they're bending over backwards trying to push the 3 3/4 agenda.
Yeah.
And kind of,
well, when you got the senior design manager and he is a 3 3/4
I know
hardcore, he's going to try to build that. But I really think that what I'm not a TVC collector, so I can't speak for TVC collectors, but I can speak for people my age that don't collect TVC. I would appreciate more the retro stuff. And I like the fact that they're adding these figures that you never got. I think that's the coolest thing, and I will get those. You know what I mean?
But I'm getting worried that they're, why, for number one, like, they keep doing them in box sets of 6, and then secondly, I'm getting worried that when we see the Garandan and that new white droid, along with 4 others that they haven't announced yet, they're going to put them in a 6-pack, and instead of charging the usual $50 or $60, they're going to suddenly charge $120.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This time around, it's going to jump from $60 to $120.
Because if they really paint those well, then those are just as valuable as 6-inch figures.
Yeah, that's what they'll say. Yeah.
All right, so let's see that my put so let's see. Oh yeah, this is where they said that there was so much deco, and then I think that's all that I got from that conversation. Really,
that was a lot.
But if you go back, and I was gonna go through the comments and show the comments and stuff, but go over there and look at the comments, make your own comment. I mean, I felt like there were a lot of people who were $200, like John said, right around $200. They feel like would have been like really fair for that set. I mean, I I was looking up the Mandalorian and the Blurg is $40. So why would equate that to like one figure and a light cycle?
Yeah, yeah.
And so for two, that's 2 figures, 2 light cycles. I can add $10 and just say, okay, $100, and then 3 more figures, right, at $20, so 160. And then there's no way that lighted board is $110.
Yeah. Yeah, and when you were saying the 200, I think a lot of it was people were rounding up too. Because if you look at it, I think I saw a lot of people were like $20 a figure, so there's $100. You know what I mean? And they were like $40 for a light cycle. So there's, you know, but yeah, I guess maybe that's not really rounding up because I mean that is close to 200 anyways, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, so my other question was, if I can ask one right now.
No.
Speaking, we talked about
like how he always
back,
asks permission and then he does it anyway.
Yeah, we talked about going back even all the way to like the Rancor HasLab and stuff. Like, I'm starting to see that I want to know your opinion. Do you think this? I feel like I'm starting to see that a lot of the companies that are giving us products, not just in toys, because this is happening in the video game market also. They're completely, they feel to me like they're completely and totally out of touch with what the consumers really want.
Oh no, John, because I want more acolyte figures rather than creatures we've never gotten from New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, or Return of the Jedi. I don't want a Princess Leia in the Bespin gown outfit. I don't want Lobot. I'd rather have more acolyte figures.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, hey man, that Chimera Stranger figure is one of the best Black Series figures released recently.
Well, he needed to be done because he's a main character, but
yeah.
But
like, I mean, because like Diablo 4 has been out for like almost 2 years now, and they still haven't done stuff they promised when they first made the game. And all of the fans of the game have been talking about it for 2 years, is to get stuff in there that's related to your guilds and clans and have big dungeons. We were told we were getting that 2 years ago when the game first came out, and they still haven't put it in the game. And they're adding stuff to the game every 2 to 3 months. So what have they been doing? Why haven't they been? And everyone's been screaming about it for 2 years. Now comes Battlefield 6. When they released the game, they said, play your way. People were saying, I'm old, I'm slow, I can't play against other players. I'm a retired veteran. I want to have a co-op mode like you did in previous games. This is going to be great. The game comes out. There's no co-op mode. People have been screaming for 3 months since the game's release. We want a co-op mode where I can play with my friends against bots, computer AI. And they're like telling them, if you wanted that, you shouldn't have bought our game. Go away, you old losers. You know what I mean? Like, they're literally yelling at us because we're older players and we should no longer be playing video games.
We're not
or
their
somebody my
You're
age,
so
and I just
out
left
of
the caps
touch.
lock on, and I don't realize that everything I typed is yelling.
Yeah. But it's like you're so out of touch with your audience. The people that are buying the games and want to buy them, you're not catering. You're trying to do what you want instead of what your customers want. And I think that's what that guy on the toy thing was saying. He's like, I want 3 3/4, so you better like it or you don't get anything. You know, when all their customers are saying, I want 6-inch figures. You know what I mean? Like, it's like they're so out of touch with their customer base. You know?
I will defend the whole wanting to do 3 3/4 because nostalgia hits people differently, right? So he's trying to recapture a time when, like, you know, where our toy nostalgia comes from, and I get it. I appreciate it.
Yeah, but if the majority of your customers don't want that, you should let it go and go with the majority of your customers.
I think for a property like Tron, 3 3/4 is 100% the right choice.
I almost feel like, though, Eric, if that set was a 6-inch set,
it would sell.
Yeah, I think it could fit on the same board too. I sized everything up in a picture; it would be tight, but I feel like
I don't think you'd get the trailing.
Yeah, you probably
things on the light cycles.
But I mean, those trails. Oh, what do they really matter? Because they're like 2 inches anyways.
yeah.
I can't make a light cycle crashing into one because it's just not long enough.
There's
And
no angle for it to crash
there's
into.
no crashing feature or something. Can you imagine if they added extra trails and gave you like the crashing feature, like the light cycles crash and then getting ready to derez or something like, you know what I mean? You could do all kinds of stuff. But I was telling Dean the other day, like, what if they had just added that little pull string thing? You know what I'm talking about? You zip it, and then somebody said, but there's only one wheel. So there's only one working wheel in that light cycle from Hasbro.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, that's.
There's only one wheel on this guy, and it still rolls forward when I pull the zip cord.
Yeah.
But
and then I started thinking about that if they had like the zip cord, would I be taken outside like that Evil Knievel stunt cycle and have them jump everything?
And they just go bunk off the cliff.
I mean, you could do even the little pullback and let go. You know, have it run across your kitchen table or something like that. Just something fun.
So that what Jonathan just said is probably the best case for doing it in 6-inch
scale.
or scaling everything else down to 3 3/4.
Listen,
like, and that's the weird proposition to me. It's like they're almost going out of their way saying, hey, the people who like Tron, who really like Tron, are expecting 3 3/4. But new Tron, that's a different crowd, and they expect 6. That's probably the weirdest element to this.
Yeah, because I will tell you that I feel like almost everybody who went and saw Tron Ares and Tron Legacy liked the original Tron.
Yeah,
went to those movies because of the original Tron.
Yeah,
right? I don't like it's a storyline you've been following from the 80s, let's say. Yeah. Whereas like I didn't really feel like I heard any of like my kids saying, "Oh yeah, that Tron was really cool" or whatever. Right. You know what I mean? Like I don't think affinity for it.
I don't think the Ares and Legacy movies hit and appeal to like people younger than me, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's unless you've gone out of your way to see Tron from, what was it, 82 or whenever.
Yeah,
you're probably not going to seek this out.
And then you're watching Tron, and if you didn't, and you're watching Tron Ares, and you're seeing Jared Leto go into, and you know where Kevin Flynn, and you're like, what is this like? Low resolution crap.
Yeah. I mean, Tron's it's a goofy movie, right? Like watching it now, I never watched it until a few years ago. It was just kind of goofy. I mean, technically they did some interesting things at the time, but
Indoor dude saying, "You mean old people want 4-inch figures?" No, I'm pretty old and I don't want 4-inch figures.
Yeah, but generally speaking, yes. I think the people who watched Tron in 82 and were fans of the original, who happen to be older, generally have an affinity for 3 3/4. Generally,
yeah. So
Vern, I would say you're an exception to the rule. Like people in my generation are probably somewhere in the middle, and half are TVC, half are like, or 3 3/4, half are 6-inch.
Do you want me to tell you where I like the one? Okay, so just as a game before we move on to the next segment, what's one thing that if you would have done different with this HasLab, what would you have done?
If I was to do like keeping the same exact price, same exact product offering, like what are the parameters?
No, you could add a character here, or to take away the board. Do what would be the one thing you would change
about the offering itself, not like the way it's marketed or anything.
Yeah. Anybody in the chat too want to say what one thing?
Well, they should get rid of the board, be 6-inch figures and 6-inch cycles.
Okay, that's two things.
So, I mean, change it, scale it No, scaling it to 6 inches is one thing, but to do that and keep the price point the same, get rid of the board.
Well, forget the price because you would price it accordingly.
Okay, yeah, 6-inch scale then, or get rid of the board and have a
like if you would have said I would have like offered it at $200, that would be like the one thing that could get changed.
Yeah.
But you're saying you would rather have 6-inch scale.
Or get rid of the board and have a recognizer instead of the board.
Yeah, that would just
figure
be
could fit in. A
I get what you're
recognizer,
saying.
you could put a
You're saying,
figure in.
go retail with the figures and then do a HasLab recognizer.
There you go. Yeah.
That's what
Then
you're
you can
saying.
put a figure in. Yeah.
Okay.
It's I mean the problem is I think it's a pretty good offering for what it like
It is
the
an
bits
option.
that are offered. It's really like the price point is like a tough pill to swallow, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So price, lower the price.
I'm trying to think like what else they could have done with the figures.
Me and Jonathan think alike. Look at this. Add a riser so you can see the figures behind the light cycles.
Yeah, that that's probably the only thing aesthetically that like if you have it set up in their predefined like layout, that's the only thing that could help. I think.
All right, Dan, you got anything?
I got nothing. Did you see my comment?
I'm not wearing my glasses. What'd you say?
I just like to take this opportunity to point out that we have spent nearly an hour on the subject of a Tron, which is apparently only a fan of less than 1,200 people in the whole country, in the world, actually.
Oh,
yeah.
According to the
But you know what? I think everybody's engaged in the conversation because it's not. I
it's
almost feel like
it's an interesting case study, if nothing else.
Yeah, it's
right. No. I get it. I thought it was funny to.
Yeah. And honestly, I feel like it's not even a conversation about Tron. It's about like the value
HasLabs and the scale.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I will tell you the one thing that I would have done completely different with these. I would have made them the clear plastic colored figures.
There you go. Yeah, that's a good idea too.
That's what I would have done.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I've got something better. Do both of those. Do either that, like,
all of it,
or just offer both visuals, or just pick the one, but pick the one and have a like carded and loose.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, that would have been fantastic, Eric.
Yeah.
To add a tier or something like that where you could actually get a second set of figures only.
Yeah.
Right. And I bet you anything more people would choose to back that if they could get an extra set of carded figures.
I feel like the downside to this whole thing, the whole idea of the HasLab is they spent this last year defending the Arctic Hiss tank and the Ghostbusters backpack, and basically the way they defended it was you will never get the exact item that was offered in the HasLab, right? So using that premise that you will never get the item that was offered in the HasLab, even if they offered any of these things later on at retail, you would never complete Blue Team.
Yes, that would be probably true. Yeah.
Because you couldn't get blue light cycles.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like this HasLab, locking it into the HasLab, one of the basic reasons, right? Like, there's only so much you can do with Sark. What are you going to do? Put them on a different card back? I mean, I guess they could do that. But like the blue light cycle is a blue light cycle. What are you going to do? You know, and then you broke your own rule that you had everybody running around saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
What were the tanks called? Were they really just called tanks, or were they like the recognizer is called the recognizer because it's not really
called the Amphisbaena from Ramen Toy, and it's in the 6-inch scale.
That does look like a Tron tank, doesn't
a little bit, not a Tron tank or a recognizer. Yeah, so people are like, let's see. Jonathan. Yes.
Is it a light tank? Like
Pirates of the Caribbean? You know, it's an interesting thing saying Pirates of the Caribbean, because if they do these 375s, is it really about building a scene in different properties? So would a scene of the Pirates of the Caribbean ride be something they could offer at a HasLab, you know, like where the boat's cruising
No,
around. you got, like,
that would be a Disney Parks product.
yeah, but that's the 375. They're Disney properties.
Yeah, no, I know, but they're not licensed out to Hasbro, right? They'd have to
Oh.
engage on that. But but that's where, like, right behind me, I've got the two I've got the two Star Tours vehicles, and then the Rise of Resistance.
Those have
escape
lights and
pod.
sounds, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Movies.
the engineering guy marked
Yes.
those up. So they were like what, $400-$500 more than the gunship that had no lights and siren sounds.
I don't even think they were $400 or $500. Weren't they 300?
So the
I
gunship,
can't. I think
was half the price of that, right? I'm messing with you.
No, honestly, I just don't remember the price. I think
Yeah.
the D23 one right here with the
400.
riser was I think that was 300 actually, and the one without the flight stand that they reissued this past week on Life Day, that one's 350 and it comes with less.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm just messing around because, you know, with the HasLabs, they always say, well, an engineer and LEDs are going to cost, you know.
Well, they have
I
little,
mean,
yeah.
but that
little
I mean,
TVs that show the whole ride.
I'd still argue, like, it is arguably going to cost more to develop, right? So if they're not, like, obviously it can be done, right? But the difference here is that Disney is producing these. They don't have to pay diddly squat on licensing, and they don't have to worry about that in their margins. Hasbro does. Hasbro has to license the properties. Disney's producing these toys, and they're like, that thing's probably better than all the HasLabs.
Yeah, who makes those? Have you been able to figure that out?
Some factory in China, probably one that also is making toys for Hasbro, is my guess.
Okay, I was just curious. Like, all right, so anyways, that's the HasLab. 2 days left. We'll see if on Monday it gets 8,750 backers or more.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope people who want that can get the products in some capacity. I'm never gonna wish something fails, because that's just
I don't.
That's just juvenile. But
just like a lot of other things that we've seen, sometimes things come back in a, like, what was it, Mephisto, right? He was a
locked behind a HasLab tier.
Yes, a tier, right? He was a tier. That's what I was trying to say.
A HasLab that didn't get funded. Yeah.
And now he's come out, and a couple other figures that's happened to. So,
but he's come out in a better. The way he's come out is better than the tier.
Yeah.
They're making.
Well, that doesn't necessarily
because they're giving him the throne.
Yes.
Right. So that's
and they tweaked his hair or something.
Yeah.
I think.
But I think the good comparison would be Damien Hellstorm. I mean, it's exactly the same. There was nothing.
Was he a tier too? Is that one of the things?
He was the tier on the Engine with a Vengeance also. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would say if Hasbro could get some Disney Parks license and do these kinds of things successfully, right? Like Pirates of the Caribbean, like the boat.
Yeah.
And some backdrop scene with
Eric,
pirates running around in circles or whatever. That would be cool. Haunted Mansion Doom buggies would be cool.
I think that the 375 is to launch, because it's Disney properties, is from my understanding that is going to be, because he's the senior product manager for he said Disney properties or whatever, right? So
yeah,
from my understanding, that 375 where they were going to launch the Tron were building like little sections of different Disney properties, like. And I feel like the Black Hole was probably going to be the first one.
It would be next. Yeah, the Black Hole would have been next. Yeah.
But I think
that's even more niche than Tron.
The movie, I think, is why it pivoted. Anyway,
I don't know. It's got a little cult following, I think.
Yeah.
And then,
I'd say Tron has a bigger following than that. Just my opinion.
Yeah, they got 42,000 people over on Reddit.
Yeah. Pirates would make a good one. Like, who made the Pirates figures when the movies were coming out? Was that Hasbro? Or,
I don't know.
No one knows.
But
I gotta say though, like
collecting.
You got to go in the back and look at the shipper boxes for those things, because I distinctly remember, this is going way back, when they used to have those Build-A-Droids, and they had the bins in the Star Tours gift shop that you would go in and you'd pull out a leg and stick it on the guy, and then they gave you like a packaging. I remember asking the lady, I was like, I thought there were black domes or something for the art for like the astromechs and things, and she's like, let me look in the back, and she came out with a shipper box where they were, the box, she opened it up and there's a clear bag inside full of parts. Like the box she had heads in it, and she dumped some of the heads in there because she did have that head in the back that we were looking for, but they just hadn't dumped any new ones in the pile.
Sure.
And that shipper box on the side of it said distributed by Mattel.
Interesting.
That freaked me out because I could have swore that the Build-A-Droids in the shop, in the gift shop, were the same as the Hasbro Build-A-Droids they were putting in the figures back in the day. Do you remember back in the day when you would get an arm or a leg with your 3 3/4 figure? And I was shocked to see Mattel on the shipper box. So I was like, so Disney doesn't make their own product. It's sent by Mattel.
Yeah.
Even though Star Wars is...
You actually thought Disney had their own factory where they're making their own stuff?
Well, no, but but Hasbro doesn't either, or Mattel. Like, I don't think they own those factories. They just
No, so
they're done
so like the Droid Factory stuff, I think were originally made by Hasbro. I think.
Yeah.
But what happened was when Disney took over, they actually just bought all the molds.
But the shipper box would say, just it said on the side, distributed by Mattel.
Well, distributed and being made by are two different kind of things, right?
I guess, but it's like, why would Hasbro make them and then have Mattel distribute them to Disney? Do you know what I'm saying?
Disney bought the molds and Disney subcontracted the production to Mattel. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, it's weird.
All right, so here's a little part of the show we like to call bragging camp. Does anybody have anything they want to show off this week? Eric's probably got about 9 weeks of stuff to show off. Does anybody?
9 weeks of stuff.
I got stuff. I got stuff. So you saw
I'll
earlier.
be back when you're done.
Yep.
I'm just kidding.
This is so cool. This is one of my favorite Wolverine figures. I'm a big
cool. That one's cool.
World War II buff, and to have a World War II Logan, this is really cool.
Yeah.
What
Where'd
else?
you get it? Where'd you get it, Eric?
Pulse.
Pulse. Okay.
And then,
that's right. He did say that. Yeah.
I got the
Iceman.
Secret Wars Iceman.
Is that a snowball?
Snowball.
It is a snowball. And I posed it like he's like a pitcher.
Yeah.
Snowball fight.
Now, does the ice clip in his
these things
hand?
are weird. These things are weird.
Is it weird?
They're not really long enough. You really have to like kind of crouch down and.
Oh, that's too bad.
I mean, interesting idea. I
was hoping it would look like a cartoon where he was like.
I think they could have done a better job putting him, like making it look like it was really coming out of the hands. I haven't opened these yet, but these came in yesterday.
Nice. Oh yeah, Daredevil.
Astonishing, yeah.
No, I had a sub conversation there with Paisano about that. I actually had that Daredevil in my hand today at Walmart.
Oh yeah.
I just can't do it, man. I can't.
$27, $28.
28. I can't.
So I will tell you that that's pretty cool. I want that set, but I'm not going to pay 60-something bucks for it.
Me too. I love a guy. I want that Nick Fury Punisher, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So awesome.
I got one of the new figures from Amazon, and I had ordered before the price hike, right? And so now it's like a different price. And they send me the email saying, we saved you $3. I'm like, you guys didn't save me anything. I ordered it when it was cheaper.
Yeah.
But they're like trying to take credit for it. All right, who else?
Was that all from Pulse, Eric?
There are other things, but the preview for next week, I'm expecting my Ecto 1 and Ecto 1A.
Did they give you a notification?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't get a notification yet.
Oh, you got one? I didn't know.
Yeah.
Which one?
I the full package.
Oh, you got the 1A. Okay.
Yeah, because of the roof. Because I mean, you're getting the extra figures in the roof light, right?
Yeah.
So I felt like it was like a no-brainer at that point.
I had to get both I had to get both because I'm gonna be
Right,
displaying both.
obviously. Anybody else have anything?
The only thing I've recently got was the new side swipe.
Almost.
Man,
Nice.
you're on a Transformers
You
spree.
are definitely Transformers.
Because it's the only one that hasn't like had a like ridiculous price hike. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah, it's
All
I
right.
was actually thinking the percentage that Transformers have gone up for the complexity that they are, because they look just like the cartoon now in robot form, and they form an actual car or vehicle or whatever that actually looks like the vehicle in real life. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that complexity, and they're $24.99. You know what I mean?
That's
It's a
not
6-inch
bad.
figure, you know? So, yeah, I don't know. I'm still willing to do the Transformers over everything else. So,
Nice.
fair enough. Yeah.
All right. So I got my shields from Dan. Dan printed these out and sent them over.
cool.
I still have to dig this stuff out. So I'll be digging that out, and then I'll probably be putting some paint. And then you can see how I stuck it on. I just got one of those little double-sided sticky tape things.
All you need, man.
I did got a review for the Werewolf by Night. A
Cool.
little bit disappointed in the articulation on this guy, but overall I think he looks pretty good.
So I haven't seen one in person. How did they end up finishing that knee?
Okay, so the knee is basically it's
Okay.
that peg is just colored different, and you can see that like there is tear marks on the pants.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
molded.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll buy it.
So what I think I'm going to do is take some paint and just kind of highlight those tear marks a little bit, just to like.
Yeah.
Make it pop. Yeah.
And then I had the other Punisher in my collection. This is the older version, and he had like the trench coat. And then I got the new Punisher
thing. Build a figure.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
Man thing.
Nice.
I don't have the man thing. No, I don't know which wave he's from. I picked this up secondhand, but that's his coat.
That's the man
Yeah.
thing. Be it build a figure wave. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I did was I just took the coat and stuck them on him, and I felt like it looked okay, even though it looks like he might be like pushing up his sleeves or whatever.
Hey, you talking to me?
Yeah, you talking to me? So
A little bit.
I think they did a really good job on the face.
Yeah. And I feel like they even captured his fatigue, like, because I don't want to spoil anything, but if you've watched Reborn yet, when he has his appearance, it's like he's clearly been through some crap, right?
Right.
And you look at that first figure, and he's just mean. That second figure's kind of got the almost like the emotion of the figure of the guy of the character that's in Reborn.
Yeah. No. Yeah. 100. I was really impressed with the new figure, and I was like, oh yeah, that one's pretty good. I like it. So. All right, those were, I think I got Silver Surfer coming. Oh, hold on. Where's Dan? Dan's got something there.
Yep. I sent
BioShock.
you guys, but I figured I'd show it here. My little BioShock Big Daddy. I 3D printed and then painted.
Dang,
That's
dude.
cool. It's a good job.
Wait, bring that a bit closer. That's painted really well.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, the thing is that I really impressed with is when you flip it around and you show that tank, the little valve piece on the top of the tank or whatever, the little guard.
Yep.
That's a lot of detail in there.
Yeah.
So how long did that take to print?
The print was maybe, I don't know, to be honest with you. Hopefully nobody from my job is listening here. I actually started it remotely because I got the one that you can do that. It was done when I got home. I don't know how long it took.
That's pretty cool. I couldn't start a remote print.
Well, I started on my break, so I know, like, if I want to get one done during the day, and like because I trust this. There's one I have two, and one of them, the one I trust, like I know it's pretty automated, so I know I can walk away and just let it do its thing. So I'll clean off the print plate and I'll get everything prepped, and I'll just wait till I get to work, and on my break I'll just hit start.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong with that.
You guys ever played Dead Space?
No.
I mean, when you're on your break, you gotta. Oh,
Great,
look at that!
great game, man. Great game. It's a little
That
like
looks big.
chibi style. The big head, you know.
Oh, I was gonna ask, is that the real scale of that, or is
No,
okay.
it would be much cooler looking. No, it's a great game if you guys never played it. It's a great horror game, and they redid it for the PS5, so it's like deep, like just amazing detail. And then here's another one that I did and painted. It's the same style, like a little almost cartoonish chibi predator.
Huh.
I thought it was cool. I can't really give the paint job credit there, but
Is that about the size? That looks like about the size of like a Funko or something, right?
a little smaller, just because
Okay.
the head isn't quite as I feel like the head of a Funko would be a little bit bigger here, but yeah, it's very very similar. Very similar, yeah.
Cool.
Speaking of Funko, aren't they dead?
I heard they got what we talk about that a couple weeks ago? They got bought by Mondo, right?
I heard they were dying. I heard they were dead.
Oh yeah, they
Funko
had
bought
bought
Mondo.
Mondo is what we were talking about.
No, Funko bought Mondo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh.
And then Funko died.
No, I think what
They're
was
not dead.
I think it was Jonathan was saying something like what Funko did was they just took an entire warehouse and took it to the landfill to save like their values or something like that. That does not look good. Aren't you the safety guy?
So when I built a shed, and the last thing I did was put Gap asked me why I just painted one of my fingernails. And I'm only saying this because it's driving me nuts, because every time I look at it, it bugs the heck out of me. Anyway, obviously the roof was like the last thing I did, and I'm up there and I'm almost done. I'm on like the last hour, and I've literally got like maybe 18 strips of shingles to put on, and I friggin' nailed my finger with my hammer, and that thing has taken forever. That bruise. I don't want to.
I couldn't tell if you were painting or you had smashed your finger. You smashed your finger.
Yeah, no, that's a blood bruise.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Whatever.
Oh yeah.
And it started like
I'm gonna pass out.
It started like right here, and it's been 2 months. It's been 2 months, and you can see it's only grown. It's only moved its way out like a quarter of an inch. This thing is going to take like 6 months to get rid of.
Yeah, my wife had a similar problem with one of her toes. She dropped the trash can lid on her toe. That took like 9 months.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, those are not stories I want to hear.
Sorry.
Are you squeamish?
Blame Gap. It's his.
No, I'm just messing around.
Mine,
Um,
if we do that,
all right,
mine will grow out in a month because we're like Wolverine. We heal instantly.
Yeah. Gotta whatever you got to do to eat or vitamins to grow more nail follicles. The TV and movie news you didn't know you needed. Anybody watching anything they want to talk about or this week? I only found these kind of
No, don't say anything about Bake Off. I haven't gotten to watch it.
Hold on.
Because
I'm
my wife's
saying
been
that.
studying, I didn't get to watch any of Bake Off.
I'm just saying that Pluribus is on Apple TV. It's pretty good.
That's a Vince Gilligan show, right?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, and I'm looking forward to seeing the next episode. I didn't watch it yet. And then the reason why the Great British Baking Show is on here, Eric, is because they just started the holiday British Baking Show. So you'll have.
Well, we never get like the US doesn't get the other offshoot Bake Off episodes where they get like celebrities to come on. And
no, that's the holiday one is a celebrity.
No. They do other. Trust me. They do other ones that don't air in the US. Yeah.
We get stuck with all the Is It Cake episodes.
Yeah.
Like 400,000 different series of Is It Cake. Like, give me a break.
If you oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say. So my my newborn, or well, she's 4 months old now. Her name's Claire. So I always call her Claire Bear. I'm not sure if you watched the show The Bear. Jeremy Allen White's character, like his girlfriend or whatever, goes by Claire Bear. So I don't know. I do that. But going back to Bake Off, my my wife has been calling my daughter Clary Berry, like Mary Berry from Bake Off.
Oh, that's funny.
Sorry.
All right. And then after I made that, obviously I was like on Peacock last night and I noticed that Nobody 2 is available for streaming. Did we talk about
Ooh.
that at all?
Last week
I need
we
to watch
mentioned
that.
We did last week. Yeah, we talked about
Okay.
it.
Yeah,
Okay.
we
I
mentioned
finally
it.
watched it last night and I was like, ridiculous, but a lot of fun.
But it's fun, right?
Right. A lot of fun.
I-
So
I-
fun.
I really like Bob Odenkirk. I'm not sure I was a huge fan of Nobody.
The first one?
I'm just
Well,
Okay.
it's
Eric,
Just kidding.
it's the proposition is it's like what, like Bob Odenkirk John Wick.
That's why it's fun,
It's
man.
like a poor,
No, I
it's like-
know.
it's a total poor man's John Wick, which is hilarious.
Oh, it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so
No, I'm
it's
gonna
so
watch it. I
unexpected.
just don't expect it to be all that great. I have so many shows and movies I need to get caught up on.
Yeah, you'll have to catch it.
Ooh, I saw that, Jonathan. Sisu 2. Yeah, I need to seek that out.
That's coming out soon, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did you
I
watch-
saw
so
an ad for that today. That was the first I heard about it. Funny enough.
Yeah. Who was in that? Stephen Lang. I saw
Yeah.
Stephen Lang was in the sequel.
I didn't know that.
So I didn't even. So the first one completely passed me by.
Yeah.
Until we went to the theaters a few weeks ago, and I saw this preview for the 2, and so I'm like, oh shoot, it's on one of, I think it's HBO Max or Hulu. One of those has it on streaming right now.
Oh, do they? I was
Yeah,
just about to look. It's on Hulu. It's on
Yes.
Hulu.
Yes, so if you got Hulu, and it's funny, I don't think this is a spoiler, but correct me if have you watched it?
No, I've been meaning
Okay.
to watch it. I
Okay.
didn't go in theaters to watch the first. Yeah.
Oh, man, I almost don't want to say this, but I kind of do.
Just do it. It's fine.
Okay, all right. So I didn't really. This is how involved you get in the movie. It's so good that I didn't realize until almost probably like the last probably quarter of the movie that he doesn't even have any lines.
Huh.
Everything in the movie is all just action and like nonverbal communication. It's amazing.
Interesting.
Like everybody else talks, but he doesn't have any. And that's the funny part. Like I didn't even realize it
Wow.
until I was in like 30 minutes was left in the movie. I'm like, wait a second, I don't think I've heard him do anything but grunt so far. But it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, hopefully that's not a spoiler because
I don't think that reveals
That's one
nothing
key
of the
things
plot.
about the movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I've been watching. There was a new. I think it was on Netflix. If you're into paleontology and the history of paleontology and geology, Dinosaur Hunters is up. It's like a mini series, and they go back to this one is about the British 1800s, early
Right.
1800s, and how they had to fight against the religious British scientific community that was in charge at the time because they didn't want to believe dinosaurs even existed. So it was like an interesting, and they had to fight amongst each other because each dinosaur hunter wanted to outdo the others. So if you're familiar with the history of dinosaurs and in the States, when they found Hell's Creek and all that, there was 2 or 3 guys that became famous in the States for fighting pretty ruthlessly, like, killing off assistants and sabotaging digs and things like that, to try and have the best find and make the most money and selling them to museums. Something equally as atrocious happened in England as well around the same time when they were first discovering dinosaurs in their area. And it's a very interesting thing if you're into the history of how dinosaurs were discovered and everything.
It's just called Dinosaur Hunters.
Hunters, yeah.
Okay.
Jonathan wants to know if they caught any because otherwise they'd suck at hunting.
It's true.
And then the other one I started watching is The Last Samurai standing. The Last
Oh,
Samurai.
that looked interesting too.
That is like watching a Japanese anime cartoon, but in live action. And it is so awesome so far. I'm only like 2 episodes in, but I'm just like, this has got to be the coolest samurai thing I've ever seen. This is awesome. So I'm looking forward to finishing that.
I watched the you know where Netflix rolls the little trailer of it. It looked pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, so this is. I'm sorry. What were you gonna say, Dan?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay.
I might have sniffed. I don't think I said anything.
All right, this is the section of the show where we talk about the toys revealed this week that you didn't know you needed. So get out your pocketbooks, everybody, because by the end of this section, you will have depleted your entire action figure fund for the week. So Executive Replicas decided to sell 1/12 scale 2001 Space Odyssey action figures for $350 per figure. So,
whoa, wow.
What?
Well,
So
look, it doesn't look like. I mean, the suits cover up whatever joints. Those don't look like they.
You can take the space
the
suits
molds
off.
break.
Yeah, you can take the suits off.
It's
really?
1/12 is 6-inch, right?
6-inch figures.
Yeah.
$350.
Wow.
I'm trying to think. Executive usually runs around like the 70.
Yes.
But is that per figure or for all 4?
No, per figure.
Per figure.
Oh,
Wow.
no way.
Yeah.
Per figure. Wow.
That's for the red. I just skipped the price for the red one. I didn't even show the red one, but yeah.
Guess what's going to happen to Hasbro Black Series next week?
Yeah,
well, if they could get $350 for their 6-inch figures, ours are going to be worth at least $300.
Listen, on their website, they also have a 1/6 scale pod that works with the 1/6 scale figure that they previously released for less than $350. So, because of the details and because these are smaller, they're just much better than a 1/6 scale figure.
Yeah,
it's just amazing. I even sent them a message and they haven't responded, but I actually said, "Is that price accurate?"
Did you say WTH? Vern, was it?
Is there a little playset with HAL 9000? I mean, why would you want the figures without HAL?
Well, because he's got the removable helmet. He's got, but the 1/6 scale figures are finally getting like the little pod.
Yeah, but with these.
I don't see how the suit comes off these.
There's probably a zipper in the back.
Of course, you could buy the yellow one and use it with your Back to the Future figures.
Yeah, probably.
Darth Vader.
Yeah.
It was on clearance for like $20.
As soon as when I saw these, I was thinking of the Space Zombies from Mars guys, and I was like, oh, these are kind of cool. Maybe I'll grab one because Executive Replicas, like Dan said, is usually like $60 or whatever. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of odd. 2001, but $350.
That's insane. Yeah, they do the. You've got La Muerta, right?
Yeah, I do.
Did they? That's the one. That's the same company, right?
Same company.
Yeah. Wow. That's okay.
Yeah. That's
hard pass. Yeah.
All right. So now that everybody's spent all their money, is there any reason I'm looking at anything else? Here's that Frankenstein from Boss Fight Studios that went up and disappeared from Entertainment Earth last week, but then it showed up on Big Bad Toy Store. I don't know what Frankenstein needs with a
rifle
or pistols that look like that you have to put powder and then ram them. And
yeah, they're flintlock pistols.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't really see him doing all that, but it is kind of interesting. And then there's a couple of skulls. So it's not a skeleton, but they come with like some skull heads. Is that for more deterioration? And I wonder if you can swap. Oh, I wonder if they're different expressions and you just swap the hair between figures.
Sure. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Could be.
I thought it came with different heads.
Yeah. Just different.
Maybe.
I mean, like they gave him a little bit of a pirate-ish look.
Is this holster like situation? Can you put like one gun up here, 2 on each thing, and the big rifle on his back? Like
I should have
maybe all
put
decked
all
out
the
with
little
guns.
pictures so that we could have seen them posed out in every possible scenario. But
And he
I
comes
think-
with different feet, doesn't he?
yeah, I think they should have given him a torch with a flame because he's probably not afraid of fire.
Pitchfork and a pitchfork.
But anyways, that's the 6-inch. That's not even close to $350. But
That one was 70, right?
yeah, I think it's like 70.
Yeah, did
Um,
he call him Adam? Did he name him Adam? I think he did, didn't he?
Did you guys see the Frankenstein that's on Netflix?
Oh, it's good. Yeah, with
Oh, I need to see that.
I
The
need to.
Oscar Isaac one.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
All right, Japanese Spider-Man coming to Hot Toys.
Yeah.
So anybody forking out? Well,
No.
you think this will be $350?
Yeah, of course it will. It'll be the standard. It'll be the standard Hot Toys.
Are you getting this one,
300,
John?
300, 350, something like that. Yeah.
Are you picking this one up, John?
No.
No. Gary? Oh, he doesn't need this one. Well, what do you got against Japanese Spider-Man?
He's got a different Spider-Man that he likes already.
Messing around. I don't know how you
That's
say no.
that's the only issue with some of these things is that, like, I'll tell you the reason. I have a Wolverine, and the next premium figure for Marvel I'm going to get is that Hano Studios when they make a Hulk, because I got a Hano Wolverine. The Hano Hulk is going to go with that. But that's going to be the limit of my Marvel for 12-inch premium figures.
Okay.
But I would get a Spider-Man if they did the Spider-Mans different. The problem that I have with the Spider-Mans has always been the cloth suit, because the suit bunches up in spots. Every time I go to like Tate's or Bits and Buttons and I look at their Spider-Mans that are on display, the suits are wrinkled in certain spots. They're stretched in other spots because they've been bent a few times.
Maybe
They just don't work right with a cloth suit.
maybe the guys at Bits and Buttons don't know how to articulate the Hot Toys
Well, I don't
without
know.
punching up the outfit.
I mean, look at the shoulder. Look at the elbow on this one in the picture where he's got his hand up. The elbow down below, the suit's all bunched up in the corner.
Like, I mean, it's acting like it's real material.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like the cartoon.
Well,
You know,
this isn't based on a cartoon.
I don't care.
This is actually based on a Japanese TV show.
I just
All right,
don't
anyways.
like the
I
way
get
they're
what you're-
looking. I just
get what
don't
you're
like the way they look. They look strange.
This guy finally went up for pre-order or whatever.
Oh,
That's
whoa.
1,000
That
hands.
is-
I like that effect.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is unique.
Yeah.
I used to kick people with, or beat people up with that effect.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Huh. Oh, it's a clip.
Yeah.
Do you see how that's done?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
clips onto the wrist.
yeah.
No, it's floating. It's actually floating. It's
Like
Well,
those
I wasn't
Tron
sure if it
all
was
those
like
pictures.
like if it was like 3 different fists with that and one of them pegged in, but it
Oh,
looks like they just saved the money on a hand that would already be there, right?
Oh, I see what you're saying. So it's not
it
an
goes
extension
over-
of the arm. It just goes over everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you pop the hand off, put it on.
So you
over-
can use the same hand that pegs in on its own without that effect.
Right.
That's
right.
clever. That's
It
clever
is.
design.
yeah.
It is.
It
And
looks
it
good.
looks. I mean, that picture makes it look good.
Oh, it
Yeah.
does. Yeah, yeah,
And he's got a toe pivot like the new Boba Fett.
yeah. Right. Yeah. Hondo, right?
Honda,
E Honda. That's what his name was. Yeah, that's right.
I think.
Raul Al Ghul and Battle Damaged Batman.
The Batman's cape looks cool. Look at that thing.
Yeah.
The problem with Ra's al Ghul is he needs his, like, they have a lot of times they see figures like this, but it's like he needs his robes.
This is how he looked in that Detective Comics, right, where he fights Batman.
Well, after he takes the robes off, I mean,
Yeah,
he
where
had-
like if you look at like the cover, it's the one where like Batman's laying on the ground with just his cowl on, and then Raul Ghul's standing above him. that issue, I think, is what
I
this
guess
is
so. Yeah, I see what they're doing. Yeah,
Put his shirt on.
but I think you should
Uh,
come with the robes, and then you can take them off if you want to. But
Well, Batman's got a slash out of his arm.
I know. Yeah,
It looks like it's deep too, and I don't know how he's going to be able to use that arm to continue fighting.
they need stitches. Yeah.
It's really a flesh wound.
And then
Oh, the leader! Look at that.
Mezco's leader to battle the Mezco Hulk that he just came out with recently, or just put up for pre-order. So here's the leader. All right, nobody. And then last week showed the Rivals Hulk. So this is the Rivals,
McFarlane.
yeah, statue.
Mm-hmm. Oh, like yeah.
Yeah, Jonathan, the leader's a dud. Yeah, I'm not interested. And then these are going to be variants that are available at the Anime's Pro Festival for Ryu and Ken.
I remember in the game, Ken had a blue alternate outfit, but did Ryu have a blue alternate outfit?
Are you guys upset though that these are variants that look like they're convention exclusives? Or is that only when Hasbro does a convention exclusive?
Only has
That
Well,
everybody thinks
the
that should be
thing with these is
available.
that the thing with these is that they're just a variant of a figure you already can get, right?
I guess.
It's not some figure that every single person on the planet wants, and there's no other way to get it, which is what Hasbro does.
Every single person on the planet, they better do bigger production run than 100,000. All right, Ryu and Ken. Donatello went up, right? Timed release.
That looks like the movie Donatello.
Yeah, look at that. Look at his ranch.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
think it says like snap on or
Or are those heads different, Space?
something? What?
Is he saying the heads are different for those Ryu and Ken? Is that what's going on?
I think so.
Oh, well, that might be something that people,
Yeah.
if you prefer those sculpts, you're going to be like, what the crap?
It's like a player 1, player 2, I think is what he's saying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a tough thing. And then this is Boss Fight Studios, but it's actually a 1/18th scale figure.
Well, that is.
Yeah. This is
yeah, I did see that. That's actually on the front splash page of BPTS right now.
Yeah.
So
So
down like 3-inch scale, right?
So yeah, because this is smaller figure and looks really detailed, I think it should be priced equal to or
Yes, because you're getting more in the
right, because
dynamics of the inner workings of the figure.
never gonna let that go, am I?
Shouldn't.
Yeah. All right.
It comes with a stand.
John, are you gonna pick this one up?
No,
It's in the scale you like.
I know, but I'm sure it's outside the price I like.
Sure.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
You didn't see this? I saw this on Instagram. I don't know. Is this real or did somebody make this up? Because it looked like it was on NECA official's thing.
Was it? Yeah.
Isn't Thanksgiving a movie with like a slasher guy, a horror film?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's like a new NECA thing.
Yeah.
Should he come with an actual like turkey though, and not just a bag?
So I might need to watch the movie again. I'm pretty sure there was a turkey involved.
I think that he has got like an electric.
Is this
knife.
a movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there was a movie. Yeah.
What's the movie called?
It's Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah. I can tell you. So it starts off. It's not just about Thanksgiving. It's like the worst Black Friday nightmare ever. That's how it starts.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So it is, and they play on that, and it's obviously a little slapstick, but it's fun. If you like the slasher horror / comedy, whatever. 1/10
scale turkey carving utensils. Yeah.
Do you want to see something for bragging camp that's pretty funny?
Okay, we can go back to bragging camp.
So this is my dad's bragging camp. So my dad ordered a new golf club cover for one of his drivers, okay? And the guy accidentally sent him the wrong golf club cover.
Betty Boop.
Betty Boop.
Yeah.
Nice.
So he said, just keep it and I'll replace it with something with the one you want. So now Dad's like, what do I do with this? So anybody want a Betty Boop golf club cover? You're hit me up. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, hit John up. He'll help hook you up. All right. So Dan will probably end up with this Thanksgiving figure.
Very possible.
After Thanksgiving. And then
look at that.
these, and to just get into the holiday spirit, because next week's Thanksgiving and the day after, everybody should put their Christmas trees up and all their Christmas lights and try not to fall off a ladder doing it. These are tree toppers.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
Christmas tree toppers.
It wasn't
So
Godzilla Day last week?
Yeah.
So-
something like that.
That's not very. I'd have to look at all the details here, but if that thing is somehow like, I'm not sure if that's steam or whatever.
It's not really blowing fire, Eric.
Well, no, not fire, but it could be. It could be like a fog machine type of situation.
Yeah, I think that's probably what
Right.
it is.
But if it is that, it would need to have a hose that goes down because
Oh, I get what you're
if
saying.
you set up
reservoir.
right, but a reservoir in for a tree topper can't possibly be that
Wouldn't
big.
that be too heavy on the top of the
Well,
tree?
Well, no, I mean, I've got a heavy tree topper. I've got the big Death Star from Hallmark, and that
Oh, wow.
that thing tips. But even that, if that thing had a tank for something like this, you wouldn't be able to run it very long. Is my
Well, unless
point.
it does like a one fire breath an hour or something like that.
Well, but you know what I mean. It would
Well, yeah,
it would probably need to have the reservoir at the base because if you need to refill that after your tree topper's on, that's a risky proposition.
Yeah, you
So,
gotta
so the
come
way
up
this
there.
works to me, if they put like the air freshener thing in there and it just cycled every like 15 minutes, and then you see it because of the light, it could do two things: give you the little fire breath and freshen up the room.
I want to know if it makes noise. It'd be cool if
Sure,
it was like,
I have to imagine it has sound effects.
All right, that's it. That's all I had this week.
I got my new glasses today.
Oh, good. What kind of glasses did you get?
I don't know.
They're different colors. Look at that.
They're colors.
Nice.
Those made me dizzy looking through them backwards. They must be really heavy.
Oh, do they? Yeah.
It's like a kaleidoscope. Somebody dilated my eyes.
Oh, wait, somebody was saying that the Yuri figure looks like the Tanaka sisters.
They use some of the molds.
Delve and seek.
Oh, well, okay. Yeah. Could be. I mean, I don't know what the neck's like on those two sisters. Do they have a lower neck joint?
Yeah, I don't know.
No idea.
Yeah, I don't either. So I'd have to. What I did was, though, like if you go to my Instagram, I actually took the renders of the figures and I put them on top of each other. Then I used that opacity to like take one out and put it back so you can kind of see that the boots are exactly, the legs are the same.
Gotcha.
Like
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
Between I think 3 figures. I just didn't look for one to match Yuri, but anyways. All right. Anyways, what do you guys got? You guys got anything before we head off into the sunset for another Saturday?
No,
I don't think so.
I think I'm gonna make a cheeseburger for dinner.
Nice.
Nice.
You should film it and put it on your food channel.
Yeah,
You use
right?
a lot of paper plate.
Cheeseburger.
Cheeseburger.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out on another Saturday. This has been the Toy Duo team.
Gary wants us to talk about the Tron HasLab.
No,
We'll be back next week to talk about more stuff. We'll recap what happened when the Tron HasLab breaks 10,000 backers on Monday. And it's final.
sure.
You know what?
Get
You know what? I
800
do. I do hope they take the components of the Tron HasLab and sell them make to order or whatever.
I hope so too. We'll see
Because-
if that happens because
if they start doing that, then it gives Black Series collectors all the more ammunition to just say, "Give me that fucking Rancor."
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
but that's one of the things that I don't think that they will end up doing something like that because they'll say, well, because it was a HasLab. That was your chance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time on the Toy Duo team.
Stay awesome, everybody.
Addiction and your shelves are overflowing.
Hold tight.
When you don't know what new is coming, but you fear you might miss out. Just sit right back, just relax and watch and listen. The Toy Duo team brings you what you need. The news you didn't know you needed. Action figures, TV news, all the pop culture you can handle.
I love it when a plan comes together. What?